Although, if done right, you can mix a little bit of wood alcohol, though it leaves a nasty headache or something like that. I think like 1% of alcohol can actually be wood alcohol or something like that. There are tolerances, of course, like that. But anyway, though, but it's very bad and not a very good idea, basically. Anyway, though, whatever. I don't really know that much about alcohol, but basically because of the laws and everything else, I had to know a little bit about it. So anyway, even though I was on vacation. So anyway, yeah. Um, so what was I talking? I was talking about family life. So my family life was very chaotic at times because like Rodney was trying to do all this backhanded or behind my back stuff with Rick Bush and a bunch of other people and stuff like that, and even Mike and Mike's brother, also very much getting a little bit too whatever. Like I said, I don't know if it's the cocaine or what it was, or just the fact that they were more mobile, were able to go around and do more things. But I mean, like I say, the information or the trail that is basically Lucifer Star me is basically 100 trillion years, or at least a billion years worth of searching. You'd have to go to lots of different planets throughout the galaxy or the universe, basically, to track down all the different variances and changes that my existence went through and all the things that I did. Very much interwoven into space time and basically existence in general. I had to be. I mean, because I originally was. So even though I became Brian, and other people would at some point in time have time travel and all kinds of other stuff and be able to muck up basically existence quite a bit, I was still like this, you couldn't really just remove me from existence without compromising your own, or at least the existence in general of the whole universe. So anyway, as 100 trillion years is a long time to be doing stuff. So even a billion years or a million years, and like I said, I spent 1.5 million years as basically a full-fledged computer intelligence, basically, and that's a long time. And then I never looked back, and I just enjoyed it so much I kept doing it. So anyway, and like I said, at some point in time, I gained time travel, or the ability to travel, to move through time, and did so quite a bit. So anyway, and at some later point, I basically became Brian. So anyway, whatever. You know, some people say I was the first one to time travel, but I don't believe it. Nah, I couldn't have been the first one of anything, but I mean, I am very, very old and do have dealings throughout the universe, basically, and lots of stuff. So, anyway, like I said, lots of people would try and make me think that it was a simulation or make believe or just fake or something, but it wasn't. There was too much that happened. And basically, just because other people, I delegated out to other people doesn't mean that I wasn't in command at many different times. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway, though, but people could do stuff behind my back, and they did, so. Anyway, probably Rodney most of all, I'm not exactly sure. And at one point in time, I was going to lock him up, put him in jail, although it was Rick Bush, really, that was mostly to blame for everything, so. Like I said, he was the whole Smarter Than the Average Bear thing, which was a TV show or some stupid thing like that back in 19-something or other in black and white TVs. A lot of people thought that was the next newest, biggest thing, and it's like, well, color really is. Of course, a lot of people thought color TVs were impossible, which is kind of funny. Anyway, a lot of people bet the farm, as they say, basically on a lot of technology that wouldn't really plan out that well. Like I said, vacuum tubes and all this stuff. It's pretty good stuff, but it's not. But it wasn't everything. So anyway, though, but yeah. Anyway, though, and like I said, vacuum tube TVs aren't even used anymore. Technology moves on quite quickly. Not to say that vacuum tube companies aren't useful for other things, but anyway. So, it's very complicated in a very big picture. Anyway, though, um, like I say, I'm sitting on the end of 100 trillion years, so whatever. It's a bit different for me. Oh, the epic exponential existence. Yeehaw. I'm tired. Mostly it's a lot of work. A lot of managing, a lot of ordering, a lot of decision making, a lot of very important stuff that basically changed a lot of people's existence. And basically I knew existence before games and paintball and even war, I knew existence when life forms were barely surviving. So anyway, very much a different picture than it is now. So anyway, and also all the other psychopaths that would come along that looked at their life forms as basically their personal playthings, which I don't know, they're not. They never were. So even with me, my life forms were never my personal playthings. So anyway, despite what people tried to say about me. So anyway, like I said, allegations are greatly inflated. Although I did do a few things, which I apologize for and try to make amends. So being who I am, keeping my reputation up. So anyway, like Rick Bush or a few other people would say later on, they'll probably just forgive him for everything that he's done. And it's like, yeah, probably. I mean, considering I built the stars and created all of humanity and everything else, but that doesn't make it okay. So I still tried to do my best to repair the damage and fix things and get things set back to the way they should be, or basically whatever. Anyway, though. So, I mean, like I say, Rodney looked at leadership or being an admiral or being in command as basically an excuse to do whatever he wanted. And other people did too. And no, it's great responsibility. And because, I mean, like I say, even as Lucifer Star or White Star Lines, like I was running a company, and basically my decisions would define the outcome of the company and the outcome of my planet or my people. So basically, if I made one wrong step, or if I made a mistake and just said, build the ship, who cares if it works or not? And other people did build ships, trying to get a jump on me, and like for instance, triple expansion, I was hesitant to build it. And a lot of people were trying to build it faster than me to get their ships out there before me, and their ships didn't exactly work right. So anyway, my people took the time to do the research and also, figure out the mathematics of everything. How much does steam expand? How much do you get from each expansion? How much power will we get from the expansion chambers? I mean, there's a lot of math involved and a lot of thinking and a lot of research and a lot of testing and all that other stuff that actually came together to form basically what was the record-breaking Titanic ship. It wasn't just a steamship, it was a lot of people working very hard for a single goal, basically. To build the biggest, largest steel steamship on the waters, on the waves. Which, I think the original one was like 300 feet or something like that, which was big. And the next one was like 600 or something like that. I said, let's double it. And then finally we tripled it and got it up to 950 feet, which seemed to be basically pretty damn big. Big enough to land an aircraft on anyway. And that was another one of my goals. Other people are like, why do you want the ship so big? It's like, well, I'm thinking about landing an aircraft on one for one thing. So I wanted to land an aircraft on one of them. So anyway, and had actually planned for it to eventually, after its time was over, to be rebuilt and then set back out there, basically as pretty much aircraft carrier, which it did, and it worked fine, worked great. And worked as a mobile airfield, in the waters. So anyway, and my 4 anchor system and all that other stuff. So anyway, which later on became 4 concrete blocks dropped in the water. Anyway, it all worked very, very well and provided for a stable platform for aircraft as well as for oil drilling. So anyway. As basically the depths for doing oil drilling became deeper and deeper and deeper, basically, to where you couldn't actually be on the bottom, but you still had to have a stable rig on top. So anyway, crazy stuff. We did a lot of out there kind of stuff, where where basically you take a great big ship that doesn't want to move very much anyway, and then you put an oil drill rig platform on top